going on, guys? It is another day and we're out here in the garage. It is about 25 degrees, but I got the heater on, so we're all set with heat. I ended up getting the bolt out here out of the rocker, and then I ended up closing the engine completely. I think it was a bad bolt only because it didn't strip in the actual head itself. The bolt snapped. So what I did was I was about to drill it with the extractor kit. I started drilling it and I saw the bolt move, like the bolt that was broken off into the head. So then I grabbed a couple picks and I started playing with it, and the bolt was actually loose. So what I did was I took the two picks and I ended up twisting the bolt out, and it came right out. It's kind of like doing a little surgery on the engine. I thought it was pretty simple, so I'm very thankful for that. So then I got the bolt from Comp, and I'm very thankful as well because they sold the bolt individually. So I just torqued that down, I put the valve cover on, and the engine is fully closed now. So next step we're going to do is put all the accessories on. I have my intake manifold. We're going to put the water pump on, and then my harmonic balancer is down there, but I don't have the installation tool yet, so I got to wait for that to come in. I also did end up buying a T56. I got that on Friday, I believe. Today is Sunday. It didn't come with a bell housing, but it came with a shifter. This is from a 2002 WS6 Firebird, and it has 58,000 miles on it. It's super, super clean. I tested out the gears by shifting through them and turning the input shaft, and they seem to all be good. But alright, so I think first I have the new intake manifold gaskets. I think we're going to put the intake manifold on just to get rid of all this tape and close up the top of the engine. But first I have to put the evap pipe on, and then my NOx sensor harness, and then plug it into the NOx sensors, and then the intake manifold. Alrighty guys, so it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's 4 bolts that bolts it in, and then the NOx sensors plug right in. You clip this to the evap tube, and that's pretty much it for that part. Now I'm going to put the intake manifold gaskets on and put the intake on. Alrighty, so I ended up getting the intake manifold on, I put the gaskets on, and all the bolts are torqued down. I did end up putting on my throttle body a very long time ago. I put a little sticker on it just so everybody knows. This is I think it's the 92 millimeter, and then it has the adapter for the factory intake. The next step that I'm going to go across is I had cleaned where the water pump gaskets go. I got my water pump here and my metal gaskets to go on. So now I'm going to put the water pump on. Alrighty guys, it's been a little bit, but I got a little carried away and I didn't really film anything, but I got the water pump on. I painted the alternator bracket. I put that on with the alternator and this pulley I guess. I have on order right now the tensioner that goes right here, and then my harmonic balancer I have somewhere over there, right there, and I have my, let me get it, I have my thermostat and water neck that I'm about to put on. It is the Holley adjustable one, so you can rotate it. And then I just got in the mail my fuel rails, so it's literally the full kit. It has everything I need, the line, the dash fittings, and the Holley EFI fuel rails. So I'm very excited for that. And when I get my injectors, tomorrow's Friday, so then I get paid. When I get my injectors, I'm ordering them tomorrow, so when I get my injectors, I will put the fuel rail on and all that, so then we'll film them. And also, one more thing, I have no idea how to do the AN lines, putting them onto the steel braided hose right here. So I have to watch some videos and learn how to do that, so I can provide you guys with that information. Alrighty, so I ended up watching a couple videos on how to do the AN fittings and how to cut that braided line. But right now I'm putting my injectors inside of the fuel rails. I had purchased the 42-pound Holley EFI fuel injectors, and right now I'm putting them on the rail. So I got this side done. I just wanted to do it as like a test before I actually filmed it for you guys. Probably like a little dab of oil. I dabbed each intake port for the injectors, and then obviously you have to do the O-rings, and then I also put dabs of oil inside the fuel rail bore, and then dabs of oil on the O-rings for each side of the injector. Alrighty guys, so now that I've gotten the injectors and the fuel rails on, now is time to do the steel braided line. So I've actually measured, I took a tape measure, I measured from here to here, and it comes out to about 11 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go based off of this tip right here, and I measured 13 inches so I can have a little bit of play so it has that bend in it. I put a little bit of electrical tape so I can get a clean cut, and I'm going to put this in my vise here, and I'm going to take a hacksaw to it. Alrighty, so my first time cutting the stainless steel braided line, it did fray a little bit, but I could chop that with a little clipper to get the fraying off, but I think it came out pretty good. So I ended up getting the fitting on here. Now I had put it in the vise, I clamped it. Obviously you can see the clamp marks, which I don't really care about, that doesn't bother me. I'm not picky like some people are. And then I threaded this on here with a wrench. And now I'm actually, this is too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it about 2 inches. I'm going to do a different method this time. I'm going to tape it, and then I'm going to use my, my cutting wheel to see if that will not have these fray as much. So that actually came out worse than the hacksaw. It didn't even chop off all the way. It stinks. But I gotta do something about that fraying before I can put the AN fitting on. So this is where I'm at right now. I got it a decently good length, and I did actually put some Teflon tape on the tips right here so there won't be any fuel leaks. So I'm just going to put this on and I'll show you guys right after. So now this is the finished product for the, well, not finished, but the front portion of the fuel rail. It has a little bit of a big arch to it, but I really don't feel like taking all these fittings off and cutting it again and then putting on this piece here where the part frays, because that is a pain in the ass, but that's what it's going to look like in the front, at least. Alrighty guys, well I think that is going to be it for the part 3 build of assembling the engine. All I have to do really is just put on the harmonic balancer. I have to get my spark plugs, and then I have to get my serpentine belt and power steering pump. But right now I'm not really in a rush to get those. That's literally the only thing I need. I've been making this video for probably a little over a month now, so that's why it's kind of been all over the place, but I've been doing some wiring work here and there. I actually made this fuse panel. I did end up getting an Optima battery over there. It's the red top edition. It's the more stronger one. I think it's the 800 cranking amps, if I recall. But I'm waiting for my battery relocation kit to come in, and then we're going to start doing all of the wiring. I also ended up getting a cutoff switch. Here, I'll show you here. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so therefore you can get notified when I upload more videos. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace.